Within the Toronto condo market, one of the most popular and common choices are 1+1 condos. Because 1+1 condos are the ideal middle ground between Toronto condo investors who look to speculate or rent out condos after their purchase and Toronto condo buyers who are end users, making it once again a popular choice amongst Toronto condo buyers. And not only are they one of the most popular choices, but they're one of the most common options out there in terms of condo supply at any given moment in time. So in today's video, I thought, why not take a look at 1+1 condos from across the greater Toronto area? So for today's video, I thought, why not take a look at the average and median selling prices of 1+1 condos within the last month and a half across the greater Toronto area. That includes everywhere from downtown Toronto and downtown Toronto condos all the way to Mississauga, all the way to Scarborough, and everything else in between. That and much more in today's video. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realty Inc. As always, back with another video for you guys here today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sam, a Toronto real estate agent working with buyers and sellers across the greater Toronto area. On this channel, we like to discuss everything Toronto real estate market, from market stats, market trends, market facts, buyer advice, seller advice, building reviews, tenancy laws, and so much more. So if you find any of this content informative, feel free to subscribe, give the video a like, and furthermore, you can find my contact information on the screen and in the description box. Feel free to get in touch with me with any questions you may have with regards to topics covered in this video or topics covered in other videos more generally. Anyways, enough of all that. Let's get to the point of today's video, which is, as I said off the top, 1+1 condo prices from across the greater Toronto area. So we're going to look at the major condo markets. That includes the Toronto Condo Market, the downtown Toronto Condo Market, but more particularly North York Condos, Midtown Condos, Mississauga Condos, Scarborough Condos, Etobicoke Condos, of course downtown Condos, Richmond Hill Condos, Markham Condos, and Vaughan Condos. And we're going to see what the property values of 1+1s are across these areas and how they vary. And I'm going to give you a little bit more context. Safe to say today's video is going to be one of those that is more heavy on the numbers. Anyways, let's get started with obviously what most people are probably most curious about, which is downtown. That's right, we're going to take a look at the downtown Toronto condo market with regards to 1+1 condos within downtown. And as of October, and this is key because these numbers are derived from sales data starting from October. So October 1st to November 8th. So at the time of recording of this video, it's November 11th. I don't have the last 3 days of sales data baked into these numbers. Nonetheless, within downtown Toronto and the downtown Toronto condo market, we see the average selling price of $695,000 for a 1+1 condo with a median of $689,000. Now, not to spoil the video, but this is going to be the most expensive and highest figures we're going to see during the duration of this video for both median and average prices. And there's no doubt about that. And what I'm defining as downtown is C1 and C8. I'm not including C2 and downtown, although the southern parts of C2 are technically downtown as well. As always, if you don't know what I'm referring to with regards to these TREB codes, feel free to find the link to the TREB maps, which will directly tell you what these codes designate and what the exact boundaries are. Now, of course, the downtown area is, in my opinion, the area that's most in demand and also the area that retains its value the best with regards to the condo market. And keep in mind, this is during a down market, right? These median and average sold prices are going to be far lower than earlier in 2022 if we were to do the same exact exercise. We're going to swing all the way to the west side of the city, more particularly the southwest portion of the city of Toronto, when we take a look at Etobicoke. Because according to the Etobicoke Condo Market, the average sold price of a 1+1 within the Etobicoke has been $605,000 with a median sold price of $600,000. As you can see off the bat, a big difference between what condos in Etobicoke are selling at right now with regards to 1+1s in downtown Toronto. During peak market, actually, this gap was much smaller. Even though on both fronts, prices were higher, Etobicoke was relatively closer to the downtown area with regards to not just 1+1 condos, but really across the condo spectrum. 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom studios as well. From Etobicoke, we're going to go to Toronto North, one of my favorite areas, North York. Here we're defining North York as anything between Bathurst and Shepherd, Bathurst and Steeles, Bathurst and Finch, all the way to Bayview Village area. So that accounts for obviously Yonge and Sheppard, Sheppard and Bayview. And the northern boundary as North York, we're counting as Steeles. And the southern boundary, we're counting as York Mills. And within the North York condo market, with regards to 1+1 condo prices in North York, we see an average sold price of $635,000 with a median of $625,000. Now, thus far, if you have noticed from the downtown portion of the video in Etobicoke, the median and averages have been relatively close. Here, the median and average are still relatively close, but the gap is much larger than the previous areas we've discussed by a factor of $10,000. This typically indicates that there's a larger range of 1+1s that sold in this time period. So the larger the gap between the median and average sold prices, the larger the range in terms of sold prices in the total amount of transactions that occurred in this given month. But $10,000 is still not bad. Nonetheless, overall, we see here prices for 1+1s are higher than Etobicoke, but lower than downtown Toronto. And in my opinion, as you guys know, I really like North York as a area, especially central North York around the Bayview Village, Yonge and Sheppard area. And I really do believe in my professional and also personal opinion, it's a better community area neighborhood than Midtown, which leads me to Midtown Toronto with regards to Midtown 1+1 condos within the Toronto Condo Market. Here we see the average of $688,000 with the median of $667,000. Here the average and median prices for 1+1 condos are really close to the downtown Toronto condo market. And this is with regards to 1+1s, but if you were to break it down by other property types, maybe studios, 1 bedrooms, or 2 bedrooms, this would also be the case as well. And to me, the Midtown area is a really good area. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the upper echelon areas within the city of Toronto and the greater Toronto area. But even having said that, in my professional and personal opinion, it's a bit overrated. And furthermore, its prices are so close to downtown that I find it a little bit difficult to justify. Whereas North York is not that far from downtown. It's obviously further from downtown Toronto than in Midtown is, by only by a factor of 5 to 10 minutes. And yet North York condo prices are so much lower than downtown as compared to Midtown. So if you have been a regular watcher of my channel, you have heard me say this. This is why I find Midtown a bit overrated and North York a bit underrated. This is amongst a brevy of other reasons that I can go through in a longer video. But enough of that, let's swing to the east side of the city with regards to Scarborough. Because with Scarborough, we see the lowest prices and lowest property values with regards to the average and median prices insofar as the Scarborough condo market is concerned for 1+1s. Here we see an average sold price of $507,000 with a median of $525,000. So much lower than downtown, much lower than North York and Midtown, and even much lower than Etobicoke. And the reason behind this is not just having to do with Scarborough, because we can make jokes about Scarborough. There are actually some relatively growing and really nice areas in Scarborough. You have to understand this accounts for everything from northern Scarborough to the Bluffs, right? So we're talking about some really decent areas. Of course, we're also talking about some areas that are not as desirable. But this mostly has to do with the fact that the range of condominiums available within the geographic boundary as set for Scarborough is a large range, ranging from 55-year-old buildings that were once apartment buildings that were converted into condos to newly built condos around the Scarborough town center. So the range of condo buildings here is very big, and the older condos in the less desirable areas have an impact of carrying down the averages. That's not to say if you were to eliminate those buildings, older buildings, more depreciated buildings that carry down the averages in worse areas, all of a sudden we will see a really high median and average sold prices. No, overall Scarborough is much cheaper. Toronto East overall is much cheaper than Toronto Central and West. This applies to not only 1+1s, not only condos, but all property types. Now let's go all the way from Scarborough to the west of the city. West of Etobicoke, Mississauga. Because in Mississauga, we see an average sold price of $587,000 within the Mississauga condo market for 1+1s and a median of $589,000. And much like Scarborough, Mississauga has a large degree of variety with regards to the condo buildings available. But unlike Scarborough, it's the newer condo stock that helped Mississauga retain more value and represent higher prices. Now, of course, once again, these prices are below $600,000, so it's not as if it's making a shoot up the list for 1+1. I mean, insofar as this video is concerned, Mississauga represents the second cheapest areas with regards to 1+1 condos in the GTA condo market. Nonetheless, the newer condo stock and more particularly Square One area help the Mississauga condo market retain value a bit better than Scarborough. Now we're done with Mississauga, done with Toronto. Let's go to York region, starting out with my favorite area along with North York. If you watch this channel, you know I'm a huge fan of North York, Yonge and Sheppard area, Bayview Village area, and also this area I'm about to discuss, which is Richmond Hill. I think Richmond Hill is once again one of the best areas in the GTA, particularly I would say southern Richmond Hill. According to the Richmond Hill condo market, with regards to 1+1 condo prices, we see an average sold price of $620,000 with also a median sold price of $620,000 as well. Now you have to understand with Richmond Hill, most of the condo stock is on the main arteries, being Bayview and Yonge. Furthermore, most of it is from High Tech Road, which is where the 407 is, give or take. And in terms of the northern boundary, most of the condos end at Major Mackenzie. So even though it's very central, Richmond Hill is a very central municipality, is as central as you can get within the GTA, and it's a large relatively municipality in terms of its boundaries, most of the condo stock is confined within these parameters I just described. And overall, I'm very bullish and optimistic on the future of Richmond Hill condos. Moving forward, let's go to the east side of York region when we take a look at Markham, where in Markham, we see an average sold price of $650,000 with a median sold price of $655,000. Now, much like how I view Midtown a bit overrated and North York a bit underrated, the same thing applies here to Markham and Richmond Hill. I believe Richmond Hill, although it does not have as much and many options as Markham. Furthermore, condo buildings in Markham on average are better, right? Not to say the condo buildings in Richmond Hill are poor, they're just at best, to be honest with you, average. And that's the only thing I really have against the Richmond Hill condo market. I think what potential the Richmond Hill condo market has more to do with how wonderful Richmond Hill is as opposed to what condo stock currently exists there. Markham has better condo options and buildings than Richmond Hill, but on the flip side and conversely, Markham has better condos on average, but the area I personally find to be a bit inferior. This is not to speak on Markham overall, just where the majority of the condo stock is within Markham. And lastly, we finish off the west side of the York region, wherein within Vaughan, the average price of a 1+1 condo is $620,000 with a median of $615,000. Anyways, that's it. 1+1 condo prices and property values across the greater Toronto area, everything from downtown Toronto to Vaughan to Scarborough to Mississauga to North York. Let me know if you have any other questions. As always, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. You can find my contact information in the description box. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.